Duke was typical. He's number 4 of my children. I have a daughter and then 3 boys. He's the last. At a year and a half, we basically lost him. He couldn't look at you anymore in the eyes. He couldn't sit in the high chair anymore. He wouldn't eat the food he was eating before. And nobody could touch him or pick him up or hug him or anything anymore. All of a sudden, he was lost to us. At first, I didn't know what was going on. And then at 2 years old, the doctor's appointment, I told him there's something wrong. My child is not right. And he talked me out of it. And even though I kind of didn't really believe him, I was hoping he was right. He said everyone develops differently. And by the time I got there for his 3-year-old checkup, I was ready with the big guns to say, there's something wrong, you need to help me. And he sent us to a specialist, and of course he was diagnosed with autism. And he now had no words at all, where before he was saying mama, dada, baba at the appropriate age, and then lost it all. Basically, he became a different person. I felt like the therapies weren't really working for Duke. He didn't seem like he was capable of much. We would have 20 hours a week of ABA therapy at our house, and it just didn't seem that they were progressing. Some things maybe, but not really. And then I'd get inklings of, I think he's reading. He would take every book out of the shelf, and there was just things that made me think that he was smart, but how do you get to it? Over the years, the behaviors escalated: running, leaving school, hurting people, mostly just loud screaming and a lot of running, trying to get away. The first time we lost Duke, we went to a party at a neighbor's house, like 5 blocks away. First time we've ever been at their house. He discovered ice, and the next day, the gate to our house was open, and the next thing we said, where's Duke? And he was gone. And he walked 5 blocks to the neighbor's house. Basically, through all the craziness, we got him back, of course. The neighbors brought him back, but he went right to the ice. But the point is, he'd never been there before. He found his way there with an empty juice cup, looking for ice, found his way into their house, all the way in their backyard to their ice chest, and I realized there's something in here. This boy has a memory. He knows where he is, even though he can't look at you. He's watching, he knows where he is. And little things like that would happen through the years, but the meltdowns and the running and the behaviors and not wanting to be touched, and how do you get through to this child? I think the thing with Duke, all his behaviors stemmed from us not knowing he understood everything and couldn't respond. At about 16 years old, I read a book called Edo in Autism Land, and it blew my mind, because I had read about a dozen books when Duke was first diagnosed, to try to get any enlightenment at all about what I am dealing with. Until I read this book, which was written by a boy with autism, his blogs, and his parents put it into a book form, very much like Duke, explained to me about how he has a smart brain and a stupid body, is what Ito would call it. And it's just exactly about the fact that Duke would hear me and he knows what a book is, but he would turn and grab something else. Uh-oh, I'm losing it. Anyway, I called my girlfriend who knew about the company that helped teach the kids to type as soon as I read the book, and got Duke enrolled in this company called Reach. And from that moment on, our lives changed. I need a Kleenex.
Can you write your name, please? Okay, one more try.
I got to the company at 16. The running was still very bad, but by the time he started to communicate, it was almost like the running disappeared. Not completely, because that's his way of showing you he doesn't want to be where he is, but we're trying to work on that still to this day, communicating. Everybody else in the family would scatter when he had a meltdown or anything. Anytime Duke needed extra help to be wherever we were, I was on my own. So they were embarrassed Most kids are very embarrassed by it. In fact, my number 3 child, a lot of his friends didn't even know he had an autistic brother, didn't know how to bring it up, and he was kind of embarrassed because at home Duke just wears underwear. So my husband, who was over 6 foot, never seemed to even be able to handle his physical outbursts. He would stand there and Duke would be hurting this huge man with his arm up his neck, almost cutting off my husband's circulation, trying to get away from him. I would have to take him. And I'm not even 5'2", and I'd have to dissolve the situation. So I feel like 99.9% it was on me. So all the strives that Duke's made, I can feel good about because, again, I'm the one that pursued it and searched for it and found it, and thank God for the company Reach is all I can say.
This is great, but I find it hard to believe that he did this by himself.
Are you implying that I wrote this?
A lot of people don't believe that this is a real thing, typing, that these kids are actually doing it. And I was a non-believer when I first was aware that this was. I didn't think that anyone could get him to settle down to do it. Shame on me. But as soon as I read Ito's book, it made me realize, yes, Duke is capable of doing this. And thank God for Lindsay Goodrich. She was Duke's typing teacher and so patient because Duke wasn't easy. Once in a while I would grab her hair. He ripped her necklace off her neck, but in the process, he learned how to type and express himself and found out simple things like his favorite color, red, and found out intense things like he'll never like clothes. Nothing ever feels comfortable on his body. And he likes long hair. And it's just so good to find out these little things because I had to guess everything for years. And even when he's sick or something, he can tell me. It's such a relief to be able to communicate with my child.
What happened at school today, Duke? Do you want to talk about that? Tell us how you're feeling?
Lindsay, his teacher at the time, said, what do you want to talk about today? And then said, oh, I have a good idea. She said, another mom recommended asking, what would you like to say to all the people now that you can speak through words? What would you like to tell all the people that have worked with you over the years? And he just started typing so quickly, dear teachers and staff. And he started writing about how he was once a very troubled boy, and this is what happened to me during the typing. I had to run and go get something. I couldn't even see to read what he was writing. And even at the end, we asked, would you like us to share this? And he said, yes, please. And that's why I sent it to my brother and my sister right away in a text message.
But Duke wrote this. He just wants to be treated like everybody else, and not like a baby in the special class.
And once Debbie read me that letter and that text from her sister, we both started bawling, crying. I could barely drive, and I just looked over at her and I said, I have to make a film about this. I have to make a film about Duke's story.
Within a couple weeks, Drew called me and said, I'm haunted by this letter. Is it okay if I make a short movie? And I thought, yes, this would be my contribution to the autism community.
I discussed everything with Thiago and he loved it. Spent hours and hours with Duke and his family and a couple of other autistic children that we know, and went to different centers for autism and did some research. And we wanted it to be based on a true story, So we kept to the storyline as much as we can, but of course, protect their privacy as a family and not display maybe everything, but as close as we could. And I think we captured the essence of the situation with the film and displayed the components of autism, family, and how it affects the siblings and the parents and the conflict.
Okay.
Tiago was there for every adventure we had, from going to the airplane simulation, little dances in the living room, to the beach where Duke was going to try surfing. Mostly pulled the guy's hair that day, but he was there for everything. And what was really neat was a lot of those components ended up in the movie. That was nice. I didn't even think that they were going to have me involved with that part, but they had me look over, read the script, and okay it. I believe the script is more than just about Duke. It's about all the families, all the struggles the families go through with autism. It's almost like a kick the cat syndrome. The autistic child does something that's inappropriate, and then the whole family, it's like dominoes effect, and then one person gets upset, then the next, and then everyone's yelling. So to be able to find a way to communicate diffuses a lot of those situations.
The interesting part about the filming of it also is the real Duke loved knowing that there was a film being made about him.
Someone had said, have you asked Duke to see if he minds? And I went, oh, no, let's ask him. And no, he was, let's do it. He was happy to share with the autistic community and continue the work of the kids before him of showing that there is a way to communicate through typing. And when I say typing, it's one finger. He doesn't type. It's one finger that looks like it's double jointed, and he's trying so hard. It takes a lot of energy, and we're working on it every day.
He felt like a little movie star, and he'd come to the screenings, and he just felt very important. He'd be part of the Q&A. We went on the festival circuit. We won many, many awards. We went to the Cannes Film Festival. We were premiered at the American Pavilion. It was recognized and acknowledged.
The film was wonderful. It is still wonderful. And now it just takes for the music to come on, for my tears to start pouring. It's like every time I see it, I cry more than the first time. It's uncontrollable. It's like I can't really go up and talk on stage. I have no makeup on. I have nothing left. But it's good. It's a good, happy cry. It's just a wonderful, the way the music, the looks, the film moves you with just a look. He loved going to the film festivals. He was very proud of that. Our family members in the last year that right in front of him say, so he understands everything we're saying? It's like, yes, people. Yes, everything. People still ask that even after the movie was made and everything we've told them. These are close family members too. So it's just kind of upsetting that everyone doesn't realize that he has a brain in there. He's just responds differently. I think that everybody, no matter who they are, should have a way to communicate. For 16 years, Duke was unable. I was interpreting. Whether I did a good job or not, I don't know. But now I don't have to interpret and guess what's wrong with him, or he can tell me, my head hurts, my stomach hurts, or I want an apple, and then ask him what color, green. It's so nice to be able to not just treat him like a child, like a 3-year-old, and just make the decisions for him. And that's what's important for everybody, should have that ability. I think it's important to educate the world about, it doesn't matter so much how somebody looks on the outside. They have the ability on the inside to communicate, to have to give them a chance. You got to find out how that person communicates and figure it out. Don't ever give up.
It was an education for, I think, everybody on the set, including the actors. The main actor that played Duke, he actually went into character about 3 or 4 days before we started filming. And when I first met him, he did not come out of character. He stayed in character. So it was a really positive experience, I think, even for the family of Duke, as well as for the cast and the crew.
Robert portrayed Duke perfectly. He hung out with Duke quite a bit, so he got him down perfect, his mannerisms and everything, to make it real and believable. And Piercy, the emotion that she showed, and the one thing that she said in the movie that just encompasses what every mother feels when they have a disabled child or someone that needs them like this.
But Duke is already 17. I'm not gonna be around to help him forever.
She said, I'm not going to be here forever. And the way she does it with that emotion, and it just, it was perfect. Couldn't have been better. They were both great.
Seeing the film Duke is an eye-opener for many people.
He loves the water still, but I think it's going to be a process to get him back out on that surfboard again. The guy that put him on the surfboard the first time did it so quickly and then took him so far out in the ocean, I think it freaked him out. So the next time he pulled more hair out of his instructor's head the next couple times. So we kind of took a break, but we'll get back to Malibu. We'll get back to it again because one of Duke's favorite things is the ocean. I'm so glad I was involved with this project. I feel blessed to have been part of this, and Thiago did a wonderful job.
Duke? Hey. Hey, Duke. Hey. Hey, did you write this? Huh? Did you write this?
We're very, very proud of the film Duke. It's a little bit of a tearjerker, so have a little box of tissue with you. I'd be honored if you watched the film. And so would the family. And so would Duke.
Do you want to tape with me?